Hello and welcome to the second video of this course about how to create a cartoon car. Let's begin! As you can see, I'm on Cinema 4D and I removed the floor. To do this, you have to go to Filter and uncheck Grid. This way, it'll be easier for us to work. So let's go. Just create a cube. And now adjust it so it has less height and it's longer. Something like this. Great. Okay, and now we are going to make this editable pressing C, or also you can do this by pressing this button here. Then activate the edge mode and select the side edges, this one and this one. Let's change to the modeling layout now. Click here and select Model. The interface will be different now. And now click on this button, the Bevel Tool, and create this small bevel over here. For the next step, we need to adjust this area where the cockpit would be. There's a simpler way of doing this. We're going to make another cut, but before we'll need to make a selection of this polygon, the top one. Now, grab the loop and click here. And click here too. As we didn't make the selection, the cut has also been done in this area. So to solve this, let's undo a couple of steps and let's select the loop. This one here. And now check the Restrict to Selection box. Now when we place the cursor over here and make a cut, a green line will appear, see? We wouldn't be actually making the cut to the whole object, but only to the yellow polygon, okay? Great. So let's move on now. What we are going to do now is extruding this, just like this. Now press T and scale down a bit the selected polygon, which is the top one. More or less like this. Great. If you see that it gets too narrow, activate the point mode and make a selection of these points. This way, you will be able to stretch the area. Let me show you an example. Just move the points like this. Great. Yes. Okay. You can also attach this panel and place it where you want, but also you have the same selection tools down here. Okay, so to select these points that are behind and can't be seen, you have to uncheck this box. As we have unchecked this box, when we make a selection, we'll also select the points that are not visible. Watch this. Now we are going to make another cut. Okay, we are going to do it on the side polygons of the cockpit. just select them, grab the loop tool, and make a cut in the middle. Let's create the windows now. For this, make a selection of these polygons, the front one, the side ones, and the rear one of the cockpit. Now we'll make an inner extrusion with the extrude inner tool. This one? Yes, so we are going to extrude this. Can you see it? Obviously, we'll want an individual inner extrusion for each polygon. To do this, you just have to uncheck the box next to Preserve Groups. This way, the groups are not preserved and extrusions are individually made. And now make a normal extrusion towards the inside, like this. Okay. Well, guys, now we are going to incorporate a new piece that's going to be separated from this cube object. I'm talking about the fender. For this, go to Primitive and create a tube. Okay, so once you have the tube, rotate it like this and scale it down. Let's go to Display and select Grout Shading Lines so we can see the lines. Now select the tube and lower the amount of rotation segments. You'll have to lower it significantly as we are working with a low poly style. Now we are going to adjust these pieces. But guys, we are only going to adjust one of them because we are going to do symmetry afterwards. It's easier in this way. So here, as you can see, the outer radius controls this part of the object and the inner radius controls this part over here, the inner one. You'll have to do this, I guess, according to your likes. It's up to you. This will work for me, so it's also important to adjust it properly. Great. How is it going, guys? Well, now we have to cut the lower part of the object. To do this, first let's make an object editable. Then activate the points mode and select all the points from the lower half. Guys, make sure that this box is unchecked, please. Now that we have all these points selected, we just have to press delete. Okay, even better, we are going to delete these points, but not this one. It will be better for us if we don't delete these ones. Okay, now select the object and move it down. Great. Scale it up if necessary. And now we are going to select the points and adjust them properly. For example, we can do like this. Okay. If the card is in your way, you can hide it by pressing this button. And then we can hide the core. We can also work with the side views if you want to. Okay. Just keep moving the points. I think it's fine like this, don't you think so? We can cover up these holes down here by creating a new polygon. From here to here, and from here to here. Then from here to here, sorry, because I have the point selected. Now again. So we click on each point to create a polygon like this. Perfect. So guys, now we are going to duplicate this object we've just made to have some symmetry. To do this, open this menu and click on Symmetry. And now let's apply symmetry to this tube. As you can see, depending on the mirror plane that we choose, a symmetrical copy will be created automatically. In this case, the copy is fine where it is. To adjust it, just select the tube, and as you can see, you can control it freely. You can also do this selecting the symmetry. Do it either way and place the object where you want. And how can we create the symmetry at the other side? Very easy. Create another symmetry object. Then apply symmetry to the group that we just created and select this new symmetry, and in mirror plane, change the option to XY. This way, the symmetry will appear at the other side of the core. See? Working this way allows us to adjust all the tubes at the same time just by modifying one of them. If we didn't these symmetry objects and opted to do each manually, we would have to modify each tube individually. Therefore, this way we avoid this problem, and it's easier. Okay, we have this, and let's save the document. Great, save. And now let's continue. We are going to make some cuts on the sides. To do this, take the core and select the side polygons, as well as the bottom one. Yeah, this side and the bottom, yes, great. And now, with the loop tool, we are going to make the cuts roughly. So let's go to the front view. Again, as I said, let's make the cuts. One here and another here. Do it also on the other side. One here and another one here. Let's check if everything is okay to avoid issues. All right. Perfect. Now we are going to make some horizontal cuts. Select these 4 polygons. And now, to make the cuts, let's go to the front view, where it's easier for us. Over here, more or less. Or even higher. It's great as well. let's check again that everything is fine. Look, we have a cut on this side, but not on the other. So let's just do it. Okay. Guys, remember that we are always working with the Restrict to Selection option checked so that the cut is only made where the polygon is selected. Now we need to make more cuts on these areas. This time 3 cuts. Okay, let's see. Grab the loop and click here. Then go to the plus sign and click twice to have 3 cuts. Let's do the same here. Click and then go to the plus sign and click it twice. It should look like this, more or less. So now, as you can see, you can grab the points and place them higher so you can hide them. So activate the point mode and go to the side view, this one. Great. Guys, remember that you need to have the Only Select Visible Elements option unchecked. This way, we're going to be able to select the points that are not visible. See? If you have that option checked, you will only able to select one of the points, so don't forget to uncheck it. Okay, so go to the side view of the front view, depending on how you have placed the car. Then select these points and move them upwards. Like this. If you see that there's no enough room, undo this and take the rectangle selection tool and then select all these points and move them up a little bit. Yes, like this. And now again, select the same points as before and move them upwards. And also this. Okay, I think it's fine. As we have these fenders on the car, the spaces are not visible. We can also move these points a little closer. Okay, this way. Great. So guys, let's do now the tires. As we did before, we just need to create one and then work with symmetries. So open the primitives and click on the cylinder. Rotate it 90 degrees. And place it over here, for instance. Yes. Scale it down and move it to a proper position. Yes. Once you have it in place, remember to lower the number of segments because we are working with a low poly style. So you remember you can choose another view to work more comfortably, just up to you. And how's it going? I'm sure that it's looking great. Okay, I think it's fine. Yeah, like this. Okay, just adjust it a little bit. Okay, so let's do what I told you before. Let's reduce the number of rotation segments. I think 22 will be enough. You can also add a couple of or 3 height segments, or you can leave it at 1. It depends on how much of a low poly look you want. I think I'll leave it at 2 and the other one at 22. Now, make it editable and take this side of the tire and check the Only Select Visible Elements box. Otherwise, the side that is behind will also be selected. And we are going to do an exterior extrusion. Remember, guys, that we need to check the Preserve Groups box. When we were creating the windows, before we needed to uncheck it, but now we want it checked. And after making an inner extrusion like this one, we'll do a normal one, a normal extrusion. And then we'll make another inner extrusion. Now we are going to use the Bevel tool to create a little beveling. To do that, make a selection with these polygons, grab the Bevel tool and make a beveling. Just select the offset mode, fixed distance, and choose to have a one subdivision. Then click and drag to make the beveling. You can also increase the subdivisions to get this kind of half sphere. Okay, let's try out with one more subdivision. Yeah, much better. Okay, we have the tire ready. And now, let's do the same we did before with the symmetries. So, create a symmetry object, and then apply the symmetry to the cylinder. As you can see, we'll need to adjust this manually. So let's do it right now. Okay, yes. Let's drag it and move it a little bit, kind of. And now grab the tubes. Great. So go here, click in here, and we are going to move it upwards a little bit. And I think I'm going to make them wider and longer as well. Something like this. Great. Yeah, I think that the tires were too small, so that's why I'm making them bigger. And now let's modify again these points to adjust them properly. Okay, grab the tires and scale them up just a little. Yeah, they were too small, as I said. Fine, let's do another symmetry. Do you remember how? Yes, that's it. Create the symmetry object and parent the previous one to it. Then change the mirror plane to XY so that we have the tires on the other side. So guys, the basic structure of the car is almost done. Save the document before going to the next video, in which we are going to create some details like the bumpers and the doors, and we'll be modifying the shape. See you guys!